So a quick update. This is the end of the day. So we'll start the video at the end of the day. So springtime is hurry up and get going time for us. I'm going to take you down to the lower part of the nursery today and just show you some of the things that we're doing. But we are spreading plants out. We're doing a little pruning. We're doing some weeding. We're fertilizing everything today, and generally getting ready for the season, which is about to start. We'll start selling plants in about a month. This is early. This is early April. We start pretty early May, and then get going May through June pretty heavily. We've sold a little bit of plants already, but most of it really comes in May and June. So we'll take you down. I'll show you what's going on down in the nursery. And so we do the same thing every single year. We pretty much go through, we put pots upright, we do some pruning, we get rid of any dead plants. There's always some dead plants. We'll go ahead and fertilize. That fertilizer we use is the slow release. You can see the resources page on our website to see which fertilizers we're using. And we are also going to be weeding. The weeding never stops. It's good to get a good start now. And that's pretty much it. And we'll also be looking to see what plants we might want to start pulling for sale soon. Our process is to grow plants together pretty closely at first, and as they grow, they need to be spread out. So we're going to start pulling some plants out. We'll sell them as smaller plants, and the ones that we leave, we'll let them grow another year or two, and we'll sell those as larger plants. We plant almost all those in 3-gallon pots, the ones I'm talking about. But we also have some 1-gallons that I'm going to spread out quite a bit today. We're going to put down some additional ground cloth as well. So it's busy in the nursery today, this weekend, and a bit this week, getting started in the spring. Before we go down, let's take an early spring look at our low-cost startup nursery, and you can start to see what things will look like in the spring. Of course, there's weeds. We've got to do that. These have not been fertilized. We're going to be doing that probably today. You can see where plants that were propagated just last year are really starting to become plants you could sell. A lot of these need to be pruned back, particularly these winter creepers. They get leggy if you don't keep pruning them back. So also these ilex are going to need to be pruned back. These are Kusa dogwoods, and they're going to get pruned back as well. We've pruned them once, I believe, so we're going to need to prune them again and again to get them to really bush out so that they don't grow up to be pencil sticks, but rather full, nice plants. And everything looks pretty bleak, but you know, in a few weeks, all of this is just going to start to explode. Here we have all our propagation totes, and I did move these. I'm going to show you inside a couple of them. Of course, these haven't rooted yet, but they will. And this year we're going to take all these plants out of here. This is going to be our propagation area going forward, but this was where we did our series on starting a low-cost backyard plant nursery. If you haven't seen that series, it's 8 or 9 parts, and it'll show you how to get to your first 1,000 plants, and then your get ready with cuttings for the next 1,000 plants for the next year. And then you can run a In a little bit more space than this, you can run a nursery that produces around 1,000 plants a year. Okay, now we're going to go down to the lower area of our main nursery, and we'll be working down there most of today, even though it's raining and very cold. So it's still cold here in New Jersey. This is early April, but we're down working in the rain today in the nursery. This is our lower area, and we have, as you can see, a wide variety of plants, but a lot of Norway spruces and a lot of arborvitae, both green giant and emerald green arborvitae. And so this is the kind of the point in the year that's probably the least glamorous. We're fertilizing today. We're spreading plants out. We're picking pots up. We're going to cull out a lot of dead plants today. You know, no matter what you do, you lose some plants. Plants get broken, deer trample through them, and lots of things can happen every year. So you're always losing some plants. A couple % per year is about all we lose. And so we'd really overplanted on Norway spruces. We're probably going to have too many. So one of the tricks about one of the things that we do is we will pot them up, and we start with good sized plants to begin with, but we'll pot them up and we'll put them pretty close together. It makes watering easier. And what we'll do is we'll pull we'll let them grow out a year or so, and we'll pull out some of the really nice ones with good growth on them, and we'll sell some of those to make space, especially when we've got too many. So we'll raise some money to put back into the nursery and to make some income, and then we'll also make space. The reason we do that with a lot of different plants, we don't sell them all at the same size. We'll plant some plants in 1 gallon, 3 gallon, 5 and even 7 gallon pots. And so we're always really just trying to sell as many plants as we can. Here's a bunch of green giant arborvitaes. So today we're also weeding. You can see there's a fair amount of weeds. These have all been fertilized. And Zach is helping me today. Zach has probably single-handedly planted, I don't know, 2 or 3 thousand plants himself in our nursery. It's been a big helper. Of course, none of our trees have leafed out yet, but you can see everything's healthy. Got lots of buds. And we're just waiting for the nursery to start to explode. This year we're going to expand this area. We're going to push back the woods a little bit here. We've got a lot of spots where we've got some invasive Russian olive and it's going to be all coming down this year. And we're going to open this field back up to its full potential so we can spread plants out more. And we'll have to add to our irrigation system. And here's some of the other fun of living in the country. We've had a bunch of ash trees die, as many have along the northeast. And we just got devastated back here this year. We had a couple of dead ones, had a couple more come down. Some of them were hung up in other trees. We're just letting them wait. You can see there's one back there. I'm gonna just let those rot if I have to and not tackle them too much because they get to be kind of dangerous. But you can see we've been pretty devastated back here. The other fun thing about the beginning of the season is running around to see how our irrigation system held up over the winter. And as much as we get these pipes empty of water, they can still crack. Sometimes fittings come loose. and sometimes everything's fine. You can see this is all okay. You can see where we put our slow release fertilizer in all the pots. We do this each spring. Gives pretty much a good half a year of fertilization for all the plants, and we'll let them soak in. And as we spread some of these plants out, we'll go through and we'll probably pull some of those leaves out, but the fertilizer will stay in. Here's a bunch of eastern red buds. It's still too early for them to do anything, but we'll want to see if they'll flower this year. They may. And here's a lot of dead mugo pines. It's amazing how little success we have with this plant, and we may stop growing them altogether. So in the spring, we'll pull out all these deads. We've been pulling them out today, and make notes as to what hasn't grown well. Here's a little more irrigation system damage. I had pulled this pipe aside in the winter, and I guess I put a little stress on it, and in the cold, we had a very cold winter, it really completely snapped that one. But that happens all the time, and the pipe's inexpensive, and we'll run around. In about an hour I'll have this back up and running. We do bring all our hoses in each winter so they don't get damaged. And you can see we have a lot of weeding to do in places. That never ends. Here's most of the dead Norway spruces that we found today. You know, that's not that many. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, about 14. We have about 800 down here, so that's not too bad. Another pile of dead plants. So if you haven't killed a few thousand plants, you're not in the nursery business, as they say. So it's just as inevitable. It's hard to know why it happens, but it happens every year. So folks, meet Zach. Zach's been with us helping for probably 3 years now, and has helped us plant an awful lot of plants.
Yeah.
Zach, you're going to school now?
Yeah.
And what are you studying?
I'm studying film and television.
Yeah. So he's going to be helping us with video maybe someday.
Yeah, maybe.
And maybe on our television show, which we don't have. So Zach, how many of all the plants we have, how many do you think you planted yourself?
Well, we said earlier, there's 12,000 total.
About.
So
Closer to 15 because we have a lot that are just small ones that are just starting just a year.
So probably, I feel like I have to say like 6,000 at least.
Half of them?
Half of them. I feel like half of them, yeah.
Well, you probably either planted them, moved them, helped place them.
I've probably touched like almost 10,000 plants.
Yeah, you have. You've fertilized at least that many.
Oh, I mean, yeah, today I've been going around every single one fertilized, so.
Right.
I don't know, all of them got my mark on it.
It's
so.
a big job.
It is.
Yeah, well, we appreciate your help.
Thank you.
Yep.
I'm glad I could do it for you.
And folks, it is actually great to get some help, especially if you're going to be running a nursery in your retirement. You know, you don't have to do all of the labor yourself. Planting is a large amount of work, and you know, we've been fortunate to have a couple of folks helping us over the years, and so, you know, he probably has helped plant at least 6,000 plants, and of course we think we have right now between 14,000 15,000 plants in the nursery. Of course we sell them, so it goes up and it goes down. We plant more. But that's a little update on a rainy day in the spring. It's cold, it's New Jersey, but we have to get started with the nursery sooner than later.